Hello, everybody. Hi. It's been a while. I'm sorry I've been really busy. Well, so thank you for you guys watching my videos and following my journey. So what's been going on? It's been a lot. So let's see, since the last time we talked, Easter happened and had my oldest come down with my grandbaby and her husband. And I put a bunch of eggs together. So 260 eggs, plastic eggs. Did a bunch of little fidget toys and balloons and just, the little bouncy balloons and candy and of course money. So all the kids trick-or-treated, they egg hunt. It's terrible I say that, doesn't it? Yeah, I'm probably just, it's halfway to Halloween, so I'm getting ready. So they had fun. It was a nice, kind of quiet Easter. I think that sparked off, overdoing it sparked off some of the spasticity. I had spasticity in my hands the first time I've ever had that. So when my hands get spastic, it's just it's very difficult, and you kind of have to move them. So I was told to make sure I move my fingers, but my hands were swelling. So the rings I wear, I stopped wearing this ring, but the rings, this one was difficult to get off for a while because this finger's still a little bit swollen. But just the swelling and having my it was like one arm and it gets right here and I think the bicep, and then it'll do the other arm and then it'll be the neck. It's just been a real miserable run. I'm on baclofen 80 milligrams a day, which is a strong anti-spasm drug. I also sometimes have to use Robaxin in between, which is another anti-muscle spasm drug. I don't use the tenazidine because that will knock me out. And it can cause problems with your diaphragm too. So I'd rather breathe and not be able to sleep, though it's been really difficult with the pain. I mean, when you're that spastic, it hurts because it pulls things so tight. So I re-upped my medical marijuana, and I've been on that. I'm on a tincture, and I have gummies in between. And if I need it, I use it. And of course, Tylenol, plain old Tylenol. I have to be careful of Motrin because I'm salt sensitive. I get more swollen with that. So had my exam at my ALS clinic. I was told about some patients have the slow progression ALS. And there was one patient they had that lived 16 years, another patient, and he had to move to another area for support, and another one that's been alive for 12 years. So hopefully that's the progression I go on. He did say that I was spastic in my right arm, and tested my eyes and believes that the eye twitch I have, it's not nystagmus, but it's similar to what happens to people with Parkinson's disease. Fast forward that, I went to my oldest niece turned 20. She's in college, and she lives in a town in the hill country, and went ahead and got her a cake. Nothing but cakes. They're a big deal down here. I think they're all around the United States. I don't know if they're in Canada or not, or Mexico. But they're little bundt cakes, and they'll decorate them. They'll put little flowers, little happy birthday posts and that. So I figured that she sent me any of the text messages would have a yellow heart on it. And I was like, oh. So I got a yellow flower, and I grabbed yellow plates, and I took that with her. I went the day before her birthday, on the Sunday. Her birthday's on a Monday. And my brother-in-law with the youngest 5 were there too, so her whole family was there. Of course, she's turning 20, so she had an event, a Renaissance festival. She went with friends the night before. And we had breakfast with the family, which was nice. Got to catch up with everybody, and then went to the outlet mall. She got, her stepdad got her, some clothes, so she went on a run, and just seeing how she's developing and her style, which is just so beautiful. So got that, got some jeans for myself. And of course I looked at them and they're mom jeans. It's like, oh God. So that's in style now. So went and we did that, and then I dropped her off at work. You know, the young people, her and her her second youngest sister, the one after her, had to work. It's like, oh my gosh, they're like their mom, work, 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 work. It's like, okay, from a recovered workaholic, you make time to see your family, make time to do that with your friends, make time to have the experiences. Life is, not guaranteed, and it can be terribly short or it can be terribly long. Don't miss out on the things, just to make another dollar, that's my belief. So I got back home and I had already planned to go to Austin on Tuesday. And then I got asked if I wanted to speak, and I had to submit a speech. So, and then I had to go through different organizations, and it's like, oh my goodness. So I did, and then it got approved, and got asked to take another person that was going to testify for himself. Picked him up, and oh my, I had my friend come with me, and then we took that. So landed in a spot to park in the Capitol, win the Capitol, and signed in to talk or to testify, and went around. I mean, they're going to be in the morning, so couldn't do a lot, and didn't go to the cafeteria. I heard that one of my other friends that's in the organization I'm in was there down from Dallas, and she bought a Diet Coke, and it was $5 from the machine. So as the day went on, just waiting, had a thing, the Uvalde families were there, and, I got to hug one person. I mean, that's, when bad tragedies happen, it's like, I am a gun violence survivor, and everything I went through was, almost 15 years ago, and it affects you as a person. And to see so many people with the grief and the desire to make sure that this doesn't happen is so profound. I don't know. I mean, you just want to help people, You just want to make sure that survivors feel heard and feel cared for. And right now, that's not happening in our capital. I mean, waited. It was a day. So did that, just that. Got to the point where our parking expired. So I was going to go out and repark. And of course, I got lost. I couldn't find the car. I went out the wrong door. If you ever go to the Texas State Capitol, remember which door you went in. I was looking for a sign or a figure I couldn't find. I went out the wrong door. So we parked rather close, but I went and did a little crosswalk around. I even went through an alley, downtown Capitol area of Austin, and my legs got tired. I had my brace on, which AFO brace on my left leg, which ended up cutting into my skin. So I got to a point where I was like, okay, I've reached my point. So I went back, drank a bunch of water, and waited to testify. And the way they do this, and the way they've always done this, when the first things happened with my dad and I started speaking out, anytime a person, they had to talk about something that might be a little controversial, they push it out into the evening and into the early morning. So they made the Uvalde families wait 13 hours to testify. I testified about 2 hours after they did. And, Texas laws have failed families, and they're failing people today. And it's not against the Second Amendment. It's just safety laws and common sense. It's like no one wants to take a right away, and no one should. But there should be some parameters that are common sense around them. Similar to the First Amendment. I mean, you can't go defame people or, go do things that would be against public decency, even though you would think that for the First Amendment, you could have so many rights. It's just, common sense. So did that, waited for the other gentleman that rode with me. And then we found the car after we got out. We went out the right door and it was just a couple steps down. It was not bad. So I think that the walk around, hearing all the stories and all the stuff with the people that are survivors and all the stuff that was, the other laws that are being presented and being around the people that are on the opposite end, the NRA, the GOA, Gun Owners of America. In Texas, they have the open carry people and all that. And it's just, there are less of them. I think some people got arrested for January 6th, but there were more of us. Actually, there were more survivors than there were advocates for the Second Amendment. So we found the car. We went to Whataburger, got a nice Dr. Pepper. I can't tell you how much I wanted that Dr. Pepper. Got home, dropped off the one gentleman in another area near that, got home, dropped off my friend, went inside in my spasticity. So my spasticity started making my hands swell. So my hands are a tiny bit swollen now, not much. I can actually take this ring off. Before I couldn't, and I stopped wearing this ring because my finger was really, really swollen. So dealt with some spasticity the next couple days. When I got home on Wednesday, because I left on Tuesday at 5 a.m. and I got home on Wednesday at like 4:50. It was a long day. So of course I probably overexerted myself. I'm famous for doing that. Famous for, going out to meet and to holding up and to advocating for people and, putting things out, to make a holiday, to do this, to do that. There's sometimes you have to take care of yourself. With the whole process of the speech and going through legal and stuff like that, I didn't do my meditation lead meditation on last Monday. And then came home on Wednesday. My youngest was home and she just looked sick. And she'd been having allergy issues. She was complaining her eyes really itched, and that's something that she gets with her allergies. Gave her eye drops, gave her some Sudafed, and some Tylenol, and had her drink a lot of water. So the next day she was better, and the next day she was even better. Made her go to school with a mask, just so I was thinking she wouldn't, if she coughed or something like that, it wouldn't scare people, but also if she's all inflamed from the allergy, she wouldn't catch something. Then my husband woke up on Saturday and he looked exactly like my daughter did. I mean, symptom-wise, presentation, the exact thing. And he doesn't have allergies. So had him ordered from Costco some COVID tests, because apparently we had used every COVID test we had. Ordered some new ones, but got these ones and tested him, and he turned positive right away. I had a very fine line, but I wasn't feeling good. A lot of muscle aches, spasticity worse. I'm like, well, maybe it could be, and it was COVID. So my husband is diabetic, and he's been under stress with work and this and that. And so I was more worried about him because he never gets really sick. So got him seen virtually by a doctor, and they ordered Paxlovid. And then I went ahead and contacted mine because I'm high risk, and got on Paxlovid. So went, and it was something. You have to go through, and one pharmacies were closed, so messaged the nurse practitioner I saw, and she called it into another pharmacy. So drove, and I wasn't sure because my arm, like now the spasticity is not as bad. But when it gets that area, it's like I have to move from this area. I can't lift my arms. I tried to do the stretches and to make sure that I move, spasticity is a beast. ALS is a beast. So got on the medicine, had lost my voice, sounded pretty terrible. So it was like forced rest. First thing, I was sick, fever on and off, and, I had the attention span of a gnat. as I've started feeling better, I'm looking up all these research things, and it's like ALS, slow progression. Suddenly they progress and they die. I scared myself. I had a couple things with my breathing. My diaphragm started getting a little spastic too, but I had my albuterol inhaler, which I was prescribed for that spasticity, not for asthma, because I don't have asthma. And I used my CPAP, and I got through that night and started coughing. At first it was real clear, and then it started turning a little bit yellow. That's like, yeah, immune system's getting it. And by the end of the day that I ended the Paxlovid, I tested negative on day 6. So amazing. I mean, my immune system works. Isn't that a blessing? Of course, I had the vaccines and boosted and had the Paxlovid, so yay! I was able, according to what the nurse practitioner I saw and CDC guidelines, to go out wearing a mask. So I saw, of course, I have the real N95 masks and the KN95 masks. But I went and saw the eye doctor, the neuro-ophthalmologist. I never knew there were neuro-ophthalmologists. I mean, that was just something I didn't know. So I saw him, and he believes that the movements are from the cerebral venous part of the brain, and that happens more often in Parkinson's disease, exactly what Dr. Pell told me. So I have mildly shifty eyes, and I have brain damage. Apparently I can get ocular therapy, which if there's already something in the brain that's done that, my brain is already accommodated in some way. There's neuroplasticity. I just don't know if I want to do that. But apparently I have extremely dry eyes. I knew that. I've had dry eyes for years. So now I'm getting tested for autoimmune diseases. Wouldn't that be funny? It's like, okay, you have ALS and you have this genetic one. You have this, you have this, you have this. It's like, how many things can one person have? That's what I want to know. Why? But, so I have to put, and I don't like this. I mean, I've been real, you get ALS and you want to make sure there's nothing stressing your nervous system, because things like exhaustion, drama, trauma, all that stress, it lives in your nervous system and it can cause inflammation in your body. So I try as much as I can to maintain. That's one of the reasons I do the meditation so much. It's one reason I try to look for beauty in the day, finding being present to reduce that inflammation. Yeah, but you catch COVID and that causes you to be inflamed. I mean, some people are concerned about whether the vaccine can cause inflammation in the body to cause worsening of disease, but the actual disease does the same thing. So, but at least I'm through that. Got that. I'm still going out. I have, what is it? So this is day 8. No, this is day 9. So I have this day and tomorrow to wear a mask. Though, I don't know, between San Marcos and Austin, of course my kid goes to public school. Who knows where we caught it. Yep. So got that done, and I haven't fallen over yet. And it might be the new one, the Arcticus, the watcher of the bears, because it causes pink eye in young kids. I mean, but her eyes were itchy, just like she gets the allergic conjunctivitis. Who knows? So I don't know. I think it's so many days that after that I can't get the new booster. I heard they just approved it. It's like, great. So they approved. I've been thinking about it for a couple weeks, wanting to get it. And now I caught the disease and I have to wait to get the booster if I do it. So good news is I'm going to be back on the study drugs for a period of time, and starting this week, which that's exciting. Waiting for clinical trials and that. I'm just so thankful I'm blessed to be eligible. So I'm going to do that. Follow up with other little healthcare things. Sorry. Yes, I'm just getting over COVID. Sorry, guys. got some concerts to go to. So, you know, in the meantime, while I'm doing this, both of my daughters are going to come. So I got them both t-shirts to say Raised by Dave. I've loved Dave Matthews since I heard them back in, 94? And I've been going to concerts. So that's going to be really fun. Looked at the grass seats. So we got grass seats because the actual seats were double that. But I splurged and got VIP parking. So, I mean, after Austin, you know, it's anytime I do the large amounts of walks, I end up having a bad spasticity thing. If I overdo things, I get spasticity. So it's surfing the waves, finding the right amount. It's amazing I can still do such things, but I have to pay for it in the end. So gonna do that. I'm excited about that. That's May 19th. My little one is going to be graduating 5th grade and going on to middle school. Exciting. Planning ahead. I already have her school supplies ordered to be on her desk in August. Saw her classes and she got accepted in the all art class because she actually is a good artist. She got her new glasses, so she doesn't have the astigmatism, the nearsightedness like my family has. She just has, she has the astigmatism. She doesn't have the nearsightedness. So thankfully, I mean, it's just, I think any kid, you know, seeing even my granddaughter play with, she's in the pretend play stage, and that's so cute. You know, with all COVID, I can just do FaceTime with her. I can't go be with her. But, you know, to see the world through the eyes of the young, you know, the hope. Yeah, it's been absolutely lovely. I mean, it's awful when you go through COVID and you can't be around people. You know, I'm just cherishing those bonds. So got a Lysol the old house, been cleaning, you know, a little bleach here, a little bleach there, washing everything. I don't know. After day 10, we need to change all the air filters. It's like I want one of those little robots that go around and they do the purple light that sterilizes everything in the hospitals. Can I borrow one and have one come around my house? You know, I'll wear sunglasses and go outside. So, yeah, I'm thinking about getting new glasses, maybe with a little tint. So if my eyes start moving, no one notices. One of the pictures from Austin, I had one of my eyes was going a different way. It's like, oh, really? Do I have to look like that? You know, this ALS is a disease that attacks your vanity. Should you truly be vain? Probably not. But, I mean, I'd like to keep some decorum. I don't know. You know, gone through a bunch, done a lot, trying to unpack from that and do self-care, you know. Make sure I eat right. Take a lot of baths, you know, Epsom salt. There's this Epsom salt by I can't remember Dr. Tatum? That's like this, it's soothe and calm. It has argan oil and oat milk. It smells so good. But I try to do that. I take Epsom salt baths, you know, soak up that magnesium. And it does help. The warmth helps. So doing that, and now from the eye doctor, the dry eyes, I have ointment. I can't believe I have to put like genteel tears. It's an ointment in your eyes at bedtime. It's like putting like white petroleum in your eyes. But I'm not having as much blurriness, and have other drops, and they were like real concerned about the eye drops and you know what happened in India. Regulations are important sometimes. Too much is not good. A little is good. You just have to find the right balance. But so specific brands I had to buy, and moisture cups for your eyes. So it's almost like goggles. So, you know, I'm sure I'm real attractive when I go to sleep now. I have the CPAP on, with the one going over my head and under my nose, and the goggles on. I'm sure I'd be scared if I turned around. Hey, honey. So just kind of tired. It's been a busy week, being sick, and then trying to catch up on everything that you can with a mask. Pop the trunk to get the groceries, you know. We got crumble cookies. Those are so lovely. Yeah. Have to be careful, I'm diabetic, but that was lovely. You know, just thankful to be alive, thankful to be present, and thankful that on Monday I can go back to holding my meditations. And that makes me feel good. Makes me feel like I help people, and it doesn't cost a lot in physical activity. So that's what's going on. Excited about seeing Dave Matthews. I don't know. I mean, I hope everyone can find music that they really enjoy, but I just found that one little thing, and that's always been something that's helped relax me. And it's lovely that I've been able to share it with both my daughters. And they both wanted the Raised by Dave shirts. How cute is that? Joy, you know. Kids, you worry about them, but I'm sure they worry about you too. You know, I'm just glad my husband's doing better. It took him hard, you know. He's home now and to sleep. Just, you know, heart disease. You know, COVID's no fun. It's life, you know. Eventually, you know, they say that pandemics last about 6 years. So what, we're 3.5 years in. So 2.5 years, we should be totally out of it. Hopefully inflation gets better. You know, I think that's hitting us all around the world. Annoying, you know. Things get better. Just know that. I mean, they've been hard before. You know, they'll probably be hard later. But there's times when things get better. Just holding on, finding resilience inside yourself. You know, it's like one thing, things happen, but, you know, you can grow from them. You know, it's like kirigori is an art, Japanese art, where, you know, repairing broken pottery with gold. And I like to think of that in people. You know, sometimes things happen, you experience disease, events in your life, trauma, dramas, and stresses, and it can break you, but you can find and knit together back with gold, and you become more beautiful in some ways. You know, it's like you can't be a victim. You can be a victim, but it's a choice to stay there. You know, it's a choice to stay down. You can choose to step back up and live. You know, there's a lot of growth that can happen. You know, ALS is a hard disease, and I know other people have different terminal and chronic diseases that cause your life to change. And they're hard to live with sometimes. I mean, you know, the spasticity has definitely reduced the quality of my life. But you can find resources within yourself and feed yourself, you know, whether that is sleep, food, conversations, intimacy, whichever ways you can find, you can feed yourself, you know, find the beauty in the day. You know, just that point of coming back, and whether you're regulating your nervous system or you are finding that space within yourself to be present. You know, meditation, prayer, some people do physical activity. Unfortunately, ALS has hampered my physical activity. But, you know, just doing things to feed your soul, doing things to get back to you, doing things to absorb what's going on, and meeting it without, you know, a harsh response, you know, moving with it and finding your space within that. It's what I'm trying to do. You know, I've got to get back to the deep meditations, reduce all the trauma, drama, and everything in my life, and find that space where I can be present. It's what I'm trying to do. And it's happy. I mean, gosh, I get to start the trial drugs again. I get to, and it did really, I think it helped reduce my progression, kind of stayed me. Now, I hope it would stay me without the spasticity. I really don't want this to stay. And I will try as I might not to set it off. I don't know. It's just so hard to be, for me, I want to do things for others. I want to create those experiences, to make those little events and memories and create the tapestry of life. Except I can't quite do the same things I did before. I don't know. I mean, I'll probably get the egg stuff and that and have my little one. She helped me some, but I might have a party to stuff the eggs next time. You know, it's like, you know, at least Halloween, I can have people set things up. We're halfway to Halloween. We'll see with my art and with what I do. If I hadn't been a nurse, if I hadn't gone down that aisle and I'd followed my art choices to make art or to help people, I chose to help people. And even now, I still help people, whether it's through being a meditation facilitator or if I go through and I do my advocacy. You know, I feel like I'm helping people, and that gives that part of me feeling good. You know, kind of like if you help one person, it feels like it takes a brick off your back. And that's, you know, somebody that's vulnerable, learning to deal with vulnerability. Oh, that's hard. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard. I don't like being vulnerable. But I'm going to be, you know, if anything, ALS is going to be a way for me to learn that. Wish I'd gotten the lesson a different way, but, you know, it's just a joy. You know, I'm finding small joys in things I do, and that's kind of what I think life should be about. You know, there's all different events, all different times, you know, just been through a time of grief and now opening up into what's next, you know. I'm going to also see Dave Matthews, and then I'm going to go see the Sisters of Mercy. The Toadies are coming this summer too. I don't know if I'm going to be able to see the Slackers in Albuquerque. I don't know if that Dave Matthews the next Tuesday is the Slackers. I don't know if I can do all those things. You know, it's like I ended up off with spasticity really bad afterwards. So will I learn? Will I learn? It's like there's, you know, it's not FOMO. It's just there's so many things I want to do. There's a family reunion in South Dakota that I might go to. I know a family coming in from Mexico, from North Pacific Northwest, and all the distant family that live around everywhere to come. So I'll see if I can. I mean, there's a gold mine, you know, real gold mine you can go to. My little sister may go, and I think that'd be kind of cool. You know, what'd you do on your summer for my little one? Oh, I went and dug some gold in the gold mine. Here's hoping budgets allow and everything happens. So that's what's going on. I mean, it's just, life is busy. I appreciate you guys following my journey and all your sweet comments and, you know, just spending the time listening. I mean, thank you. You've helped me. You've given me hope. So what's going to happen? I'm just going to keep waiting for the Dave Matthews concert. Got some doctor visits coming up, just yearly stuff. And thankfully, I've kicked the COVID. Boy, that is something. You know, just when you think you do everything, all the vaccines, you know, you wear a mask, you keep clean. And you used to go from not wearing masks and suddenly catch it. I mean, eventually I think we're all going to get it. Just hopefully it turns into the common cold. Yeah. So I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you have had a couple good weeks. And, you know, looking forward, things are going to get better. Slowly but surely. You'll have some things going, but things do get better. There will be the light at the end of the tunnel. Just know that, you know. And I will try to add some of like the little clips and pictures of what I've been doing at the end. And thank you so much for watching. And if you can, like and subscribe. Thanks. See you guys later. And don't forget, find the beauty in the day. It's there. You just have to find it. All right, bye.